I'm Kate Melcher, and I'm the Executive Director for Fisher House, Michigan. I was honored to wear the uniform of this country for 15 years. But the true work of my life and the true honor has been working in Fisher House. Because even when I'm not wearing the uniform, I still get to serve my military brothers and sisters.
I'm Mike Wilson. I'm the Executive Director of the VFW National Home, retired Command Sergeant Major. The VFW National Home is a place where veterans and their families can come for 3 to 5 years and work through whatever issues they're working through. A lot of veterans fall through the cracks when they come out of the military and don't have everything they need to be successful. And so when they come here, we provide them with all the resources to be successful. I just took this job, just started here January 1st of 2022, and January 17th had a doctor's appointment for my annual physical, and I explained to the doctor I've been having chest and shoulder and neck pain and thought it was, like a swimmer's cramp kind of a feeling. He said, well, let's do some tests, and less than a couple weeks later, they did a stress test and found where my heart had been damaged from a heart attack. No idea. I had no idea. That's the only words I heard the doctor say, is you've had a heart attack. He talked to me for 20 more minutes, I never heard another word. So, you automatically start thinking about how am I going to take care of my family? How am I going to take care of Phyllis? How am I going to, when you deploy, it's the same thing. I'm more worried about my family at home than I am for my own self. It's like, what's going to happen to them? What happens if I don't make it through the surgery? What happens if I die in the surgery? Am I ready for that? Is she ready for that? Is my family ready for that? And so that all just goes screaming through your head.
If he passed, that would have been my biggest regret, is that we just didn't have more years together.
I really didn't even understand exactly what the Fisher House did. I just knew she'd be safe. She wouldn't be in a hotel across town somewhere, or trying to get there every day or get home in the evening after being there for hours and hours on end. I just knew that she'd be safe. She'd be next to the hospital and be safe.
Well, the Sergeant Major and I have known each other for years. I got a text one day saying, Kate, you've talked about Fisher House for years, but I need it for my wife and I don't know what to do. And so I texted back and I said, it's really easy, Mike. Your doctor can make a referral to the Fisher House. You just need to tell them that you want your wife with you. And that's where the referral process starts. Fisher Houses are located near military hospitals on military bases around the world and near VA hospitals all around the country. And they exist to make sure that when a veteran is hospitalized, when their service member is hospitalized, that their loved ones can be nearby. There's never a cost to stay in the Fisher House. Our goal is to care for the caregivers so they can focus on caring for their veteran loved one.
To see him, 6'2" and all nice and muscly and brawn, laying there in a bed looking totally helpless and totally ill, it was hard to take. And it was so nice not to have to travel somewhere in an unfamiliar city on unfamiliar roads in the dark when I'm exhausted. So just being able to walk out of the VA hospital and down a sidewalk that's well lit and very convenient to the Fisher House, and be able to be there and relax within minutes, it was hugely, hugely helpful. And I know it made him feel good that I was close. It's very easy to just kind of come in to the room and feel like the pressure is off for a few hours. And they're beautiful, and all the comforts of home, pillows and blankets and all the amenities you need for showering. It was just super convenient and super comfortable. It was comforting to know that he's right there in the building next door, and I can see it from here. I can't see him, I'm not in the room, but it was as close as I could get in the situation, and it was comforting to me to know he's right there.
I witnessed it a lot in my military career. The sooner you can get the family there, the quicker the soldier heals. So I knew that going into it. That if she could be close by as often as she wanted to be, and as often as I needed her there, I would heal quicker. It would just knowing someone's there all the time is a good feeling. And I saw that, like I said, with soldiers, they heal a lot faster if family's right there with them.
The first time I had this recipe, I was staying here at the Fisher House, and I had been over at the VA, and I was hungry because I'd eaten probably potato chips from the vending machine all day and maybe some coffee. So when I came in and I saw this salad, and it was strawberries and almonds and spinach, all healthy foods, And I was just so thrilled that I could get something good to eat before going to bed. And every time I make it, I think of the Fisher House.
My military career was very important, but this is the most important work I've ever done. And so the Fisher House is a force multiplier. It helps the VA get the job done it needs to do by taking care of the family. And it's America. That's what we do. We take care of each other. And I'm thankful.
Every single veteran, whether they were drafted or whether they raised their right hand voluntarily, the country owes a debt of gratitude. And so when a command sergeant major calls, and he's not yelling at me for walking on the grass, he's calling because he needs help, and I get to say yes, that's everything.